We're getting ready for a road trip. We're going to be going up to Resurgence Automotive, then we're going to go further north to Idaho to check on our kids, then we'll come back down to Resurgence Automotive to finish up Digdug. I've got a little bit of maintenance work I need to do on Brutus before we take off. I'll show you what's going on. If I've got extra time, I'm going to strip down this Jeep engine and get it ready to rebuild. I've got a new set of tires here that we're going to be putting on Brutus before we take off. I'm going with the Patagonia AT Pros. My son Dallin's been using these up in Idaho and says they do great in the snow. They've got the 3-peak mountain snowflake rating on them, so they should be good. I also like what I see in the tread pattern. I see a lot of siping in there, stone ejectors, big blocky treads, and enough void to make it a good AT. I like the way the tread wraps around the sidewall, so these should be perfect for what we're doing with this truck. I've also heard that Milestar is bringing some of their manufacturing back to the US, and it looks like they have. Check this out right here. We'll get these put on before we take off on our trip, and we'll let you know how they ride. I want to try a little experiment out on these. You've heard me talk about using GlueTread before, and I always see it get used on tires that are made for off-road, and they're in the 5 to 10 PSI range. Today, I want to use it on a heavy-duty truck tire and see if it'll hold 80 PSI.
Yeah, it's only flat. I know. It's only flat on the bottom. Yeah.
It's totally flat. I've got a jack under the axle so I don't pinch it down on the rim. So let's see if we can fix this with GlueTread and how much pressure it's going to hold. Right here's what they've got in the kit, and it includes a little instruction manual, which I'm going to follow exactly because we're going to be pushing it to the limit. I'm cleaning the area, and I'm just going to use the little bit of water because it's got to dry before you can finish it. I took a young men's group out camping, so we got things a little muddy. That's typical of spring camping though. I'm gonna open up this little pack of glue. It says you need to work the glue down into the tear. I'm going to use this whole patch, but I'm rounding off each of the corners because it seems like they want to peel off first. It says to sand off any letters or numbers that are in the way with the 80 grit sandpaper that comes in the kit. For some reason, all this sanding feels really familiar. The instructions are really specific about how much glue to put on and to put it on in little dots like this. It's even got a little sheet that shows you how far apart the dots should be and how big. All right, there's my final pattern. It says to hold this in place for 30 seconds, but I have no way to measure it and I can't let go. I've done all the steps except for the last one, which says wait 1 hour. I've got to do that, then I'll put some air in here. I'll probably creep it up kind of slow, like 10 PSI at a time until it starts to leak, or we get to like 100 PSI. It's been an hour and it's time to see what this is gonna hold. I'm gonna start at like 30 PSI. I'm gonna give myself a little distance here, just in case this doesn't work. Almost there. All right, we're at 30.4 PSI right there. It's definitely holding at 30 PSI. I'm gonna go drive it around a little bit just to confirm. If it'll do this, it works, but we're gonna bump up the pressure to see where it blows. I'm cruising around at 30 PSI. Doesn't seem to be anything weird going on. If it'll hold 30 PSI, it'll get me home, and that's all I'm really looking for it to do. We'll keep bumping up the pressure to see where the failure point is, but so far it's working. Driving didn't seem to affect it at all. Now we're just gonna see how much pressure it can hold. I'll try to stop like every 10 PSI so we know when it blows out. If it makes it to 100, I'll do another driving test. We're filling again. Okay, we are at 40 PSI right here and it still looks good. That would probably hold air for a long time, but it's definitely leaking. I've also got a pretty good bulge in that tire. I want to see where it really blows apart though. I'm just gonna keep filling. All right, we are at 50 PSI now, and the bulge is getting kind of gnarly, and there's still this little tiny leak there. I mean, this tire would probably run for hours with a little leak that big. Oh, there's one starting over here. I overshot this round a little bit. We are at 62 PSI. The bulge is crazy big, but I'm still just getting tiny little leaks. We're gonna keep going. This is almost 71 PSI, still no major leaks, just tiny bubbles. Oh, I can hear it starting to rip. Is it gonna blow? Let's check the PSI. We are at 79.8, and I think I can hear some tearing. Oh, we're definitely getting more bubble action. Still nothing major. I'll bet I could drive for an hour on that. Okay, at this point, I'm running the pressure up higher than I would ever fill these tires. They're rated to go to 80 PSI, and I'm gonna push them to 90 or 100 if it'll do it. I can't believe it's holding still. 87.9. This is incredible. I think it's gonna go to 90 PSI. We're over 89 PSI. We're working our way up to 90 right now. It still makes little pops and tearing sounds, but it's filling. Oh, oh my gosh, that scared me. I don't know why. I mean, I was waiting for it. Yeah, everything's fine. Angela came out to check on me. It almost made it to 90 PSI. I was like 89.3 and then it blew out.
I heard it. It scared me really bad.
No, everything's fine.
Okay.
Boom. It ripped out on the bottom. I thought it would go out up here. Oh my gosh, the patch is ripping, coming off. That thing is on there. Oh, there we go. I'm gonna clean this up the fast, easy way, glue it up again, and drive it to the tire shop with 30 PSI in it. Almost glued myself on there. I've got to wait for that to dry again, then I can fill it back up and get out of here. I should probably wash these tires off before I take it in. This second patch looks even better than the last one. I'll bet it would make 100 PSI. We're not gonna get a chance to find out because I gotta get these tires changed, but someday I'm gonna have to redo this because I really wanna hit 100. I've got more faith than ever now in GlueTread, and it's definitely one of my favorite things. I'm gonna be selling it on my website, TomTom Shop, so you can check it out there and buy that along with your TomTom Shop merch. There's some other things that come in their kits that also fix punctures and a bad valve stem. So anything short of a total catastrophic tire failure, you should be able to repair on the spot. We made it no problem to the tire shop, which at this point I wasn't really worried about. I got my new shoes on Brutus here, and Orangey stopped in to check them out. I love getting new tires. You can just feel that they're new when you're driving. You're just gripping better. I love the smell of new tires. I like when you go into Sam's Club and you walk by that tire section and that smell just comes out and hits you. That's my favorite. This truck is almost ready to go. I'm gonna put in an air filter really quick, and then I think I'm done with the maintenance. Normally I just blow this off with some compressed air, but after doing that for about 5 years, I started to feel guilty, so I bought a new filter out of guilt. It's time to tear down this Jeep engine and see what we're working with. This engine came out of the WJ I've got that was wrecked years ago, and I've already taken the head off of it. I used that to fix the XJ. It had a cracked head from overheating, and the heads on these WJs had a little bit thicker deck and didn't crack quite as easy. The WJ blocks are a little different than the XJs and how the engine mounts attach, so they're hard to swap between the two vehicles. That's okay, because I want to put this one in a WJ. I'm going to start by removing everything off of the outside of this. This engine mount's totally worn out and cracked, so I'm not going to hang on to it. The engine had about 175,000 miles when it got in a wreck. It was still running good, and it had some life left in it. These engines routinely go 250,000 miles. So it was sad to see it taken out of service, but it is going to live again. This one's cracked too, just like the other side. Not quite as bad, but not worth keeping. I probably won't reuse the AC compressor, but I might use it for a core. Oh, it moves really nice. I just wanted to confirm that it's not seized up. And you can see there, everything is gliding nice. With the head off, it's actually really easy to turn. You can see the pairs. These two, these two, these two. Hopefully this will come off without ripping off the outer part. We'll see what happens here. The harmonic balancer has this rubber layer in between, and I'm grabbing the outer part. So I'm hoping it doesn't shred the rubber and it pulls the whole thing off the snout of the crank. See how it goes here. Oh, it's gonna want to spin on me. I'm really crunching these threads in there. I don't like doing that. I need to find a washer to put on here. I don't think I'll ever reuse this crank again, but I put that washer on the snout so I don't destroy it. I want to be a responsible hoarder. There it goes. It's moving. It should keep coming. All right, we got it. This will definitely not get reused. Okay, time to get the cover. This engine is an odd mix of metric and SAE fasteners. I think there's actually two more down here. Yep, there we go. Now it should come off. I'm gonna leave that in place for now and see if I can pull all the lifters out. All right, how are we gonna grab those? I'm using the magnet on a stick to pull the lifters out. Just reach down in there. I just need to pull them up high enough that I can grab them with pliers. It's like playing Operation.
It takes a steady hand because if you touch the side...
Got the lifter. I got one. Here they all are, and there's really no need to keep them in order because I'm not going to reuse them. With the lifters gone and that plate off, now I can pull out the camshaft. There we go. I'm gonna be replacing the cam, but for some reason, I don't know yet, I'm gonna hang on to this one. The oil pan and the crankshaft are the last thing left to remove on this engine, and I'm gonna throw some plastic under it when I spin it over, so any oil that's left in there doesn't get all over the place. This is the Daytona engine stand, and I love it because it's got the little crank here, which makes it really easy to rotate the engine. A little coolant, but it doesn't look like it had any oil left in it, so it won't be too bad of a mess. Time to get this pan off of here. Oh, here we go. Okay, oil pan is off. It's looking really good in this block. It's super clean, no sludge, makes a guy feel good about changing his oil. I bought this vehicle around 75,000 miles and we drove it till it had 175,000 and it's still looking good in there. I'm gonna save all this stuff. It might go in another engine another day. Or it might just sit on the shelf for a long time. I'm dumping all that oil that wouldn't come out through the drain plug. I'm ready to start taking out the pistons out, and we'll see how they look. Here we are. It's definitely got some wear on the skirts, but nothing that makes me worried this block won't be rebuildable. Bearings look great. No issues there. There's the next one, where it looks pretty similar on both sides. You can see again, there's quite a bit of wear, but nothing unusual. I think these are going to be fine. The pistons had quite a bit of wear. There's some scuffing on them. We'll flip this over in a minute and look at the bores. The rod bearings look fantastic. I would rerun these. Let's pull the crank out now and see what the bearings look like underneath the caps. They're already numbered, so I don't have to worry about keeping track of them. Okay, let's check out the very first cap. Ah, it's beautiful inside, just like the rod bearing. Same here. Same. The number 7 cap here on the end is the one with the seal inside. And this is the one that's always causing problems. It's got a 2-piece rear main seal, and these engines notoriously leak from this seal. It can be replaced just by pulling the oil pan. You can get to it from the bottom side, but it is kind of a pain. You can see the other half is still in the block. When I lift the crankshaft out, we'll see how to pull that one. There's a tool, I think it's called a Sneaky Pete or something, that'll push this out, and you can pull out the seal and push a new one in without removing the crankshaft. But that's the seal right there. And it looks really worn. This engine leaked a little bit from the backside, just the typical Jeep drip drip. The inside of this engine really does look great, which is kind of a payday after changing the oil in it for the last 100,000 miles. I'm going to pull out the crankshaft, we'll flip it over and look at the bores. This number 3 bearing looks different because it's the thrust bearing. So it's got a thrust surface on this side and this side. This is the bare block. This is our opportunity to peek inside the cylinder walls and see how it did. You can definitely see the scuff marks. You can see crosshatch on the front and back, but you see the scuff marks on the thrust side of the piston. You can see crosshatch on this side and scuff marks on this side. I can't catch a fingernail on any of those scuff marks. They feel really, really smooth. So they're visible, but they are not a problem. It really doesn't matter because I want to bore this block 30 thousandths over anyways, but it's really interesting to tear down an engine that you've maintained for so long just to see how it went. And this thing has had a great life. I'm guessing this engine would have run for another 100,000 miles. This piston right here is the one that's scuffed the very most, and I can barely feel those marks on it. It's not as bad as it looks. It's time to get all this mess put away and get on the road. Yeah, I'm a hoarder, not a slob. I'm loading up the merch so we can sell it at the Salt Lake Autorama. This is the grill for Digdug. Gotta load that up. This is the wood for the bed of Digdug. Robert from Oregon tipped me off the finest Brazilian decking had a really cool wood that I could use in the bed. So I emailed them and they sent me this tiger wood. It looks awesome. I'm really excited to get it in there. Look at these pieces. The color is so cool. Oops. Yeah, that's gonna look amazing in the back of Digdug. I'll finish up the rest of the packing and see you on the road. We're driving here and we've hit a bit of snow and rain, which I think is great because this truck was pretty muddy. That should take care of all that. It's like a free car wash. We'll be looking good by the time we get there.
Nah, I don't think so. I think it's gonna look worse.
It'll be good enough.
Good enough. We'll see.
We've got a little bit of a change of plans. Rob's not quite ready for us. So we're gonna go straight to Idaho, hang out with the kids, and then we'll come to Rob's on the way back.
Idaho or bust. Here we go.
Getting worse. I hope it's not a bust. These new tires are so quiet I almost forgot about them. They're sticking good in the snow, so glad we put them on. It's gonna get dark on us here. I think we'll get in around midnight tonight. It is really coming down now. Back there, it smelled like a skid pad. Some of the semis couldn't make it up the hill, so they were just doing burnouts. They got a plow out in front of them so they could make it. We're moving, but we're going really slow. Glad I got the new tires for sure. We made it safe to Idaho, and the truck really did look better when we got there. We had a great time hanging out with our kids and doing fun stuff all weekend. Oh, how many people actually want to roller skate?
I'm fine with either one.
Either or. We tried to go bowling tonight, and it's not working out. They don't have any lanes for us, so now we're voting between roller skating and axe throwing. It looks like the skaters won.
I'll go climb instead.
We need to get one of these.
Sounds good.
What do you think? Should we get one?
I like it actually.
That would be fun.
But I think it'd be hard to get used to the steering wheel on the other side.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We're fueling up really quick and grabbing some snacks because tomorrow we are back on the road headed to Resurgence Automotive. We're back on the road. Like always, we had a great time with our kids in Idaho, and Angela even caught a snake.
Yes, I did.
Our next stop is Resurgence Automotive.
And the roads are much better today.
I'm back at Resurgence Automotive. Rob and Nate have been working all week on Digdug. Let me show you a little bit more of what they've been doing. I'm gonna go back there right now and put my own eyes on Digdug for the first time. Oh, check this out.
Hey,
This
You're
is
back.
awesome. This looks so cool, Rob.
you said white, right? I thought you meant red.
No, it's this light off-white color, kind of like the Cove was in the middle of the truck on the original.
Original two-tone, yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. This is such a cool color. I'm in love.
It's cool. A lot of sanding, but here we are.
So this is the main color. The whole body is going to get sprayed this color, and then we'll be putting the stripes on later. But this looks incredible.
Another piece to the puzzle.
Oh, look at that.
Look at that. Real check.
All right, I'm going to help Rob get this unmasked, and then I think we mask it again because there is more to paint. They've got a whole bunch of vehicles in here that are getting ready to go to the Salt Lake Autorama. So I'm going to be working on Digdug, but also helping get some of these ready to go. We've got it pulled out in the shop so I can start assembling some of the stuff that can go together now and won't affect the rest of the paint job. Try that again? Yeah. See that tool? Yeah. We're going to stop for a minute because we got to get this Bronco out of here and over to a shop that's going to be doing some interior work on it. So we'll load this onto the trailer and get it out of here. I think I'm going to be running it over there so Rob can keep working here. about there?
Yep.
We got loaded up and we're headed to some shop. I think it's at a guy's house and he's doing some interior work. I don't really know what it is, but I got Chance here with me.
Hey.
You know what we're doing on this vehicle?
Not really. I haven't done a lot of work on this one,
Gotcha.
but I think that we're just having that guy put the interior in, and then we're pretty close to being finished with that.
Okay. It's supposed to be all put back together in like 4 days and at the Autorama, so there's a bit of work to do. We're just dropping it off and we'll get back to the shop. While we're here, we're picking up some seats for a Mustang. Check these out, these are pretty cool. This shop is called Perfect Stitch Upholstery, and this is the owner, Bruce. This is pretty cool. Do you guys do all kinds of interiors? What do you focus on?
Yeah,
here?
we do interiors anywhere from the early 20s to the muscle car era, the 60s, 70s.
Awesome.
But we also do some daily driver repairs and bolts if needed. So we have other things to fill in if we get any slow times.
Makes sense that Rob would use you guys a lot. Do you do a lot of the Bronco seats for him?
Yeah, we do quite a bit of Broncos.
Mustang stuff
Yeah,
like
Mustangs,
we're picking up?
Broncos, yeah. The
Cool.
Broncos seem to be picking up, so we're seeing more and more of them.
Awesome. How do people get a hold of you?
A lot of people Google. It's Google Perfect Stitch.
Okay. We'll put their website right here. Thanks. We're going to get out of here. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks for your help.
All right. I picked somebody up on the way back to the shop.
Hey, everybody. I think he's ready to put me to work.
We're probably going to go back and have lunch, but then we will get to work.
Lunch sounds good. Lunch and then work.
Still got Chance in the back here. Perfect Stitch was super cool. It's good to know about that place. And the guy's name was Bruce Lee. That's pretty awesome. Bruce Lee is making the seats. Digital polished up the whole dash panel and now it's ready to go back in. You need to take credit, Ange.
Yes, I did.
Got the wiring panel mounted back in there. Right now we just got enough circuits to keep it running, so this will have to come back apart and we can wire up the whole thing when we get it home. But for now, we're gonna close this panel up so it'll look nice. Here, you put them in. Can you get the gauges really good? Okay, the dash is all back together. Speed hut gauges are looking awesome. Good job, Angela.
Thank you.
We're gonna go grab the seats and the seat belts to try to get those installed. We've been working for a while, reinstalling things in the cab. Right now I'm relocating this power steering cooler to the inside so my grill will fit in there. I haven't had a grill in a long time. I just needed to trim a corner of a couple of the fins. Oh yeah, it's gonna fit right back in there. Will you tell me if it pokes out the other side? We got it relocated in here, which left plenty of room for the new grill. It's actually an old grill, but it's a grill.
Yep, more sanding.
Rob's been working furiously on this hood, and he is determined to get some primer on it tonight so that we can get the final coat of paint on it tomorrow. We're running out of time here, but it's going to happen.
Happening. Eeny, meeny, miny, moe.
We got a lot done today. We got this vehicle on the run. It's really cool to see the final paint going on and how it's going to look on the truck. Are we going to be ready for the Autorama?
Yes, we are.
Awesome.
As long as so it doesn't break any more parts.
Oh yeah, we broke the windshield. We broke a gasket on the rear window. We'll get it all figured out next week. Thanks for watching.
Broke the windshield.
Well, I saw you guys over here. And I'm